Hi there, I'm Marilyn from Almost Urban Vegetables. We have Bruce behind the camera today, and we are unpacking box number 5 for your CSA. So this week you're going to find some familiar and some not so familiar vegetables in your box. So we'll start with the most familiar ones. Of course, you can get the beets. I'm going to be a mom and tell you to eat your greens because you can eat those as well. And they're still quite nice. Later on in the season, the greens are not so nice, so make sure you eat those up. Swiss chard and kale are in the box. Bruce is laughing at me because I'm telling you to eat your greens. And you'll really enjoy these ones as well. We're going to put a nice little recipe for Swiss chard in your newsletter. So be sure to look for that. It's a really sweet one that I enjoy a lot. So be sure to look in your newsletter for that. A not so familiar vegetable in your box is fennel. Now, people are not as familiar with fennel necessarily, but this vegetable came to us from the Mediterranean. It went into Britain when the Romans invaded and has since traveled across the ocean to North America and South America and everywhere else. So it has a bit of a licoricey flavor. When you smell it, it smells like licorice. What a lot of people don't know is that you can eat the whole vegetable. So don't think, a lot of people think you just chop off the bulb and use that and you throw away the rest, but that's not the case. There are lots of great recipes for fennel. We're going to include that in your newsletter as well. But just be aware that you can eat the whole thing. The bulb itself is really nice roasted or made into a salad. I've made a little salad here where I very finely chopped the bulb up, and then I mixed it with some lemon juice and olive oil and a little bit of the cinnamon basil that the Bring It On boxes will get in their box this week. But you can use almost any other herb you wish in there, and it's a really nice fresh little salad, especially for these hot summer days. These ends are really nice to use. The fronds have a little bit of a slight licorice taste, much milder than the bulb, and you can use those in salads, and you can use the stems as well. When you roast the vegetable, it loses some of that licoricey flavor. So some people find the licorice a bit intense when it's raw, but when you roast it up, that really mellows out into a beautiful roasted vegetable. So make sure you think about trying that with the bulbs of the fennel. In your box today, you'll also find a bag of snow peas. Well, I want to do snow peas, and usually people just eat them raw because they're yummy. So this is the first of the snow peas, and we hope that they'll produce a bit more as the season progresses. We're just keeping an eye on those right now. With the heat, peas like the cool, like so many of our spring vegetables do. So we're just watching those to see how well they produce this year. Now, in your box this week, you'll get a choice of 2 out of 4 different kinds of vegetables. Our summer vegetables are just starting to come in. So you will either get, you'll get 2 of these things: eggplant, cucumbers, zucchini, and peppers. So these are the first of the summer vegetables coming in. Our spring vegetables are starting to sort of wrap up a little bit as the season progresses and gets hotter. Not that it hasn't been hot all spring. If you get a pointy pepper like this, don't think it's a hot pepper. It's not. It's a regular sweet green pepper, the same as this one is. You'll also find sage in your box this week. Now, people often don't know what to do with sage. It's a great herb to use with red meats like rabbit or lamb or pork. It's also very nice with chicken or anything poultry. But you can also make a great tea with this, where you just chop up the leaves a bit, pour boiling water over them and let it steep for about 5 minutes, then add honey and milk to it, and it's a really nice tea. People often don't think of sage as a tea you can drink, but it is very nice. And you'll find again dill in your box this week, and you all know what to do with dill. And this will be the last week for green onions for a while, so enjoy these. Now, if you're a Bring It On box, you'll get some other items in your box. You'll get a bag of salad mix. You'll get a bag of either cinnamon or lemon basil. Now, cinnamon and lemon basil, unlike regular Italian basil, that flavor you can smell. Like when you smell the basil, you'll be able to tell if it's cinnamon or lemon. You really want to use this kind of basil fresh, because when you cook it, it takes away a lot of that nice flavor that you get with those added flavors that are in the basil. So we would suggest that you use it in fruit salads or fresh salads. You can also make drinks with it. So there's lots of ways that you can use these nicely flavored basils, but it keeps that flavor when it's fresh. So be sure to use it that way. And you'll also get a small bunch of radishes. They're very cute and little this time. The radishes are really struggling in the heat. So this might be the last radishes you see for a little while. And that's your CSA box for this week. We hope you enjoy it, and we'll look forward to bringing you next week's box next Tuesday.